other thing you've mentioned too, which raised the question with me and how important it is how important is storytelling in your creative process?
It's a very important. And the way I kind of, how do I, how do I back up? I'll give you a couple of examples. Um, I think when we were starting to kind of plan our own events, whether it was a marketing webinar or even our internal all hands meetings or all company meetings, we started to kind of like try to figure out if we could come up with a theme to build a story around. And what we found as we try to do them ourselves is that's really hard. Coming up with a theme and then writing a story to match the theme was the inverse of what we should have been doing. We should have been trying to figure out what we're going to say and then go build the story around that.
Right.
And so I'll give you an example. I mean, last all hands meeting I had, which was a month ago, end of July, it was largely focused on a message that I wanted to encourage people to not get burnt out and to take time off and to spend time with their family, time you won't get back. And so I'd come to the conclusion that I wanted to communicate that. And of course, as a CEO, that then trickles down into how you structure vacation and how you encourage people to take it. And that became the kind of like, okay, I want to talk about this as a subject. I had a couple other subjects too, which I won't get into, but that as a subject felt very real and very timely, relevant. And so that became the foundation for, okay, what are we going to call this theme? What theme do we build around this meeting? And we came up with this concept of a road trip where you had a character, you could see their hand on a steering wheel, right, driving through this kind of like 3D amazing world. And it was at that point where someone said, okay, well, this is great. It's cool. It feels like brand live. You know, we can put some summer music on top of it, so it feels very much like the intro to the event. And someone said, you know, what would be really cool is if this thing actually had real life humans, your employees, on the screen too. And so 3 days before the event, instead of just going with what we were planning to go with, we actually emailed out through Slack, of course, all of our employees and asked them to contribute their summer photos from their summer vacations. And this kind of like really fun but impersonal intro video turned into this personal hundreds of photos being shared across the company intro, right, that actually created some human elements to it and gave the narrative a more connection oriented feel to it. That idea just came naturally. We are now with all of our customers encouraging them to do that type of thing. Whatever the theme might be, incorporate your people, your photos, your company culture into the intro. And so what used to be this like, okay, we're going to have this random theme and it might tie to Valentine's Day or July 4th or summer road trips has now turned into culture creation and connection and making the person who's watching on the lookout for their photo. Oh my God, there I am. Kind of like the Jumbotron. And so we've actually backed into a lot of the storytelling elements that we create are actually done at the end, not the beginning. And so we've really encouraged our customers to script out what they're going to say, to write it down. Our product has a teleprompter built in, so you can look through the teleprompter, you can read the script as you're communicating directly into the camera. There's a bunch of other benefits. Obviously, you stay on message, but the number one benefit is you're looking right in the camera, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
So, our product suite over time is really going to encourage people to follow storytelling tactics, to have conflict, to be open about conflict. We call it the no hard way story, the challenge you faced and how you overcame it. Even in our internal meetings, we have a segment called Story Time, which is all about what you've never told someone at work before. And it's all about the raw stuff. We don't want to hear about your career. We don't even want to ask about where you went to college. It's not about that. It's about the challenges you faced, how you felt as you overcame them, what it means to you to have had that conflict or down moment of your life, influence of your parents. And so we're trying to really encourage companies to think like storytellers. Over time, I'm not 100% sure what that looks like, but I know on average it's going to be shorter, better content that is worth consuming, back to your point on asynchronous, after the fact.
Yep.
In order for someone to want to watch it a day later or a week later, it's got to be good. And in order for them to remember it, it's got to have a story. People remember stories.